Portland Arts and Literary Festival, known as EPALF. This festival is organized by APANO's volunteer collective of local Asian and Pacific Islander artists and cultural workers, a collective called AMP, and this year specifically, it's shaped by the Queer and Trans Asian and Pacific Islander subcommittee of AMP. So we're calling it Queer PALF, and we're focusing on reconnection. Hosted online on a series of Fridays, the festival includes writing workshops like this one, storytelling sessions, an online marketplace, and a lunchtime art series to provide an array of opportunities to share our hearts and minds with each other. During this time together, we hope to shape a collective narrative for our community through a QTBIPOC lens. Just so you know who's in the room today, my name is Roshni Thakur. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the APANO Cultural Work Coordinator. We also have Lily Doe, and she is an AMP member and facilitator for tonight. And we also have Brina Antonia Cortez, who uses she, they, ella pronouns, and she is also an AMP member and providing tech support for this evening. So thank you both. And I wanted to just like ground the space with some community guidelines. And just knowing that this is a BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, people of color centered space, that during the session to take care of yourself, we are here to connect, but to be attentive to your body. One person speaks at a time. Take space, make space, be mindful of how much you speak, and please leave space for others to speak. Any stories that come up they should stay in the room, but the lesson can be shared, just noting that this space should be confidential. Respect each other. No one knows everything, but together we know a lot. To share gratitude or feedback. Accept non-closure. Create a space for multiple truths and embrace curiosity. And just some technical things. Please keep yourself on mute if you're not speaking. And if you need assistance with Zoom, do not hesitate to reach out. The session will be recorded, and it's going to be recorded for a illustrator who will be making an illustration of the session. And there will be a portion of the video that will be on our website. And when I see in the chat the question about what's non-closure, basically there are things that might come up and they're when people are sharing stories, and when we're creating a space of multiple truths, and some things might not be closed neatly in a box. That's what we try to just embrace at APANO, of just like, well, some things might not tie neatly in a bow at the end of a session. It might not come up, but that's just like the grounding that we have for any kind of like community events that we host. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Okay, thanks. And then if you would like closed captions, if you should see a button at the bottom of your screen for live transcription or showing subtitles, and you can just click on that if you'd like that. And I want to share our land acknowledgement in the digital sphere. Since our activities are shared digitally on the internet, let's also take a moment to consider the legacy of colonization embedded within the technology, structures, and ways of thinking we use every day. We're using equipment and high-speed internet not available in many Indigenous communities. Even the technologies that are central to much of the art that we make leave significant carbon footprints contributing to changing climates that disproportionately affect Indigenous peoples worldwide. And that's a quote from Adrian Wong of the Spiderweb Show. And in addition, since we are zooming in from Oregon, we are currently seated on the traditional lands of the Multnomah, Katlamet, Tualet and Kalapuya, Wascow, Cowlitz, Clackamas, bands of Chinook, Malala, and many other tribes who made their homes along the Columbia River. I invite you to join us in acknowledging all of the above as our shared responsibility to make good use of this time, and for each of us to consider our roles in reconciliation, decolonization, and accomplishment. And to share a statement of solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement, we also want to acknowledge that our society has deeply rooted within it centuries of white supremacy economies, built on the enslavement, the disproportionate imprisonment of Black folks, the violation of human and civil rights, and the concentration of extreme wealth into the hands of a small, mostly white male elite power structure. We explicitly name anti-Blackness as the root of most oppression and racism. We believe this will allow us to be better equipped to dismantle harmful structures and institutions that we are working with and within. And that's a quote from J. Rush Singh, who used to be a colleague at APANO, is now is an amazing organizer at Unite Oregon. And then if you can, we would just advise everybody to change your name and pronouns. And so to do that, you would click on participants up at the bottom of your screen and hit more. And next to your name, you to hit rename yourself with name and pronouns. And there's a question of who the illustrator is. I can share their website. They are a local illustrator in Oregon, and I think they're actually currently in LA, but they've done illustration for APANO before, including our staff retreats. Their name is Jada. And yeah, I can put their info in the chat. And so I'm very excited for you all to join us for our final event in the series, Written into Being, a Write Around Portland workshop with Lily Doe. Lily Doe is a writer and facilitator currently based in Portland, Oregon, living with her partner in crime. When she is not sharing her personal narrative to build community, Lily also volunteers as a facilitator for Write Around Portland's writing workshops. Take it away, Lily.
Thank you, Roshni. Welcome. I want to start us off with a warm-up write. 5 minutes warm-up write. I'll mute. Everyone's muted, so I'm going to give you a couple of prompts. You can use one, the other, neither. It's up to you. And we'll go from there. So the 2 prompts start out with is when I think about reconnecting, or these are the days that. Okay, and then we'll do it for about 5 minutes, and I'll alert you whenever it's about 2 minutes left. Right. Want to wrap up your last thought? I figure what we can do is start off with introductions, names, pronouns, your racial or ethnic identity, and if you would like, you can share your pieces. So who want to go first? I feel like I can go first too. My name's Lily. So I use she, her pronouns, and I am Chinese American. And here's my piece. When I think about reconnecting, I think about all the faces that come across throughout the years. Think about the laughter, the tears, the nights of long and deep conversation, moments of reflection, walks across town, and genuine bonds formed over food, tea, and silence.
I can go next.
Thank you.
My name is, hi. My name is Teardrop. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm white. And this is just kind of a short one. I went for the list format, but I can share the one I was doing. These are the days that exhaust me, challenge me, exhilarate me, bring me joy, grow dark early, wake me up with sunrises, drench me with rain, make me laugh.
Thank you. And that's perfectly okay. Julie. Anybody else?
I can do it.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Lisun Do. I'm she, her pronouns, and I don't want to share because it was not a lot.
Perfectly okay.
I'm sorry.
No worries. Yeah. Well, welcome. Let's see. A little bit about, I wanted to kind of introduce Right Around Portland, and then we can go over the group guidelines, and then we can just start writing. So Right Around Portland partners with social service agencies to build communities through writing at hospitals, treatment centers, homeless shelters, senior care homes, correctional facilities, and more. And this year, we've had an opportunity to partner up with APANO to bring you this workshop uplifting queer BIPOC voices. So I'm really happy to write with y'all today. So with that being said, I do want to go over the group guidelines on the screen. Okay, can y'all see that? Right. So would somebody be willing to read the group guidelines for me?
I'll do it.
Thanks.
Okay, group guidelines. Number 1, spelling, punctuation, grammar, and handwriting do not matter. It is okay to write whatever we want. However, we will refrain from sharing hate speech. We will be respectful when we share, listen, and give feedback. This is a space to be creative and try new things. We will refrain from giving critical feedback, but instead offer positive comments. Number 5, we will respect confidentiality, including we will not take screenshots or photo snaps of the workshop without consent. Number 6, we will respond to the writing as if it is fiction. Number 7, we are encouraged to share our writing, but sharing is always optional and our own choice. 8, when sharing and offering feedback, we will keep our focus on the writing and refrain from personal storytelling. And number 9, we will be free to express ourselves with no need to apologize for what we write and share. We will enjoy ourselves.
Thanks, Lisu.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
So, this is a living document. So if there is ever anything that you want, that you need in order to for us to better support you throughout this workshop, feel free to tell us, and then we can add it to the group guidelines. Like I said, with the confidentiality, yeah, this particular workshop is being recorded, but we're not like posting it anywhere. However, we are using it to do the graphic work. So, okay, with that being said, let me. There we go. Sweet. All right. Perfect. Okay, so let's start off with a 10-minute write this time. And here are the prompts. The next 2 prompts are, in the silence between us, and our history is full of. We'll do 10 minutes this time. Just keep your pen moving. Okay. And I will tell you whenever it's about 2 minutes in. You want to wrap up your last few thoughts, last few sentences there? You're welcome, Vaughn. Okay. So let's do a share and feedback session of this. Who wants to start? And Vaughn, if you'd like to introduce yourself, your name, your pronouns, and your ethnic and or racial identity. No, you just came in, so. Thank you. Feel like I'll go first, and then we'll take it from there. There's this photo of my father. He stands in front of the camera with his back turned. It's a clear day. It looks like he's staring out toward the ocean, his hands behind his back, the way old Asian men do as they're walking in the garden. Almost like he's contemplating life and all that's associated with it. But in reality, he's looking down a hill of sand where my sister and I are walking ever closer towards where the edge meets water. I stare at it from time to time, wondering why my favorite picture of my father is one where he's not facing it. And then I realize it is what he is facing toward that shows the amount of care and love captured within the photo. It is in that direction that has pointed his life. Our history is written within the context of those before us, and I think back of what came before me, I see him looking forward. Thank you. Anyone like to comment?
I don't remember this photo.
About the writing itself. So what stood out to you? What did you like about it?
I like the fact that it it just changes the narrative. Like you change you narrate what is happening. You set the story up, and then in the end, it tells what it truly means for him, and that was really nice.
Thank you. Lisa.
Yeah, I liked the framing of the photo. I liked how it started out a kind of a distance before you kind of came in and showed what's under the surface.
Thank you. Lisa. Anyone else like to share? Thank you, Brina. Yeah, I just thinking about time and the history that's tied to it and looking forward. Yeah. Well, if no one would like to share, we'll keep going to the next one. So actually I have a poem I wanted to share with y'all. And I Audre Lorde, I really like. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Ron. Yeah, that was just understanding how one shows love, right? There are so many different ways. So thanks. Yeah, so let me show you a poem that I have for y'all today. And it's by Audre Lorde. And I just wanted to see what y'all think about it. Let's see.
A litany for survival.
You
For
hear
those
that?
of us who live at the shoreline, standing upon the constant edges of decision, crucial and alone. For those of us who cannot indulge the passing dreams of choice, who love in doorways coming and going in the hours between dawn, looking inward and outward at once, before and after, seeking a now that can breed futures like bread in our children's mouths, so their dreams will not reflect the deaths of ours. For those of us who were imprinted with fear like a faint line in the center of our foreheads, learning to be afraid with our mother's milk, for by this weapon, this illusion of some safety to be found, the heavy-footed hoped to silence us. For all of us, this instant and this triumph, we were never meant to survive. So when the sun rises, we are afraid it might not remain. When the sun sets, we are afraid it might not rise in the morning. When our stomachs are full, we are afraid of indigestion. When our stomachs are empty, we are afraid we may never eat again. When we are loved, we are afraid love will vanish. When we are alone, we are afraid love will never return. And when we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard nor welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak, remembering we were never meant to survive.
What y'all think? What words stood out to y'all? Loving all the hearts coming out.
The title itself,
Mhm.
we were never meant to survive. Or I guess that's not the title. That's like the last word.
Okay.
But it's been repeated before. It's kind of true in a sense. It's like we made ourselves to survive. We were never meant, like it was never born. We were never born in a sense to survive. We just had to learn. And because of that, we taught ourselves to just survive. So I think that's really interesting take.
The teaching of survival.
Exactly.
Yeah, the refrain, yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Vaughn, what is it about for those of us who were printed with fear, like a faint line in the center of our foreheads? Like, what is it about that really? Those of us who are imprinted with fear. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts? I agree, it is very vivid. Yeah.
I'd say like this poem is very repetitive, but I love that. Like it keeps the rhythm alive as you're reading through it, and it just it leaves an impression when you repeat some word, and that's a good thing, I think.
Right. The repetition of it becomes something that it imprints on you, right? The same way that like it's on the forehead, because it's in the mind, but it's something that's ingrained. Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it shows who the target audience is. Yeah. Well, I wanted to show you that, and I'm so grateful for all the great comments that are just coming in about that the poem. I have a couple of prompts for you for this. Let's see. And we'll do another 10 minutes on this one. So we'll do the two prompts are for those of us who, and it is better to. So in the chat. There we go. We'll do 10 minutes this time, and then we'll do a follow-up with a sharing. Who would like to share what they wrote? We'll do a share and feedback. And if you don't want to share, if it's better to just type it in the chat, to do it that way too.
Mine's too personal. I don't want to share it. I'm sorry, Lily. I can share it to you because.
It's okay. No worries.
Okay. Sorry, Lily.
It's all good. At the end of the day, this is for you, you know? So whatever that comes out of it is what matters. As personal as it is, you don't have to share. How about I go? Okay. For those of us who keep moving, what is to become of the time that accompanies us? What becomes of the acceptance that is required of sitting, of taking minutes, hours, days, of slowly growing? What we expected was a moment skipping forth like a rock over water. Each time it hits the film, a jolt of excitement, a glance, a smile, a blush, and a nervous hey. Then, 10 long seconds later, she opens her mouth and simply said no. 10 seconds. Planets stretch across galaxies, moving away from each other, taking one last look, then letting go. Any feedback? Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Deirdre. Are there any lines that y'all would like to share? Perhaps something that you can type in? I would love to hear. If you're willing.
I can read an excerpt. I wrote a whole big paragraph.
Whatever you're willing.
Okay.
If not, we can just keep writing.
Okay. This is like this very middle of the paragraph. It's better for us to understand the trauma and cultural boundaries to navigate through an environment you're unfamiliar with.
What's that? Can you repeat that last part, please?
It's better for us to understand the trauma and cultural boundaries to navigate through an environment you're unfamiliar with. So understand both where your heritage is from and where you are now. I am appreciative of the cultures my parents taught us to be where I am now. And now I understand why my mom chose us to be where we are. A lot of things were unfamiliar to them, and it would be too much. It would be so much for us to help ease them in an unfamiliar world. And when time flies, they create a home for themselves in a small town where everything is safe. And that works for them after all the past traumas they went through. They experience what is love and safety for them in the end.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
I like that idea of navigation, right? I love just, navigating between these boundaries, right? Of like cultural, historical, just the context of it. That really stood out to me.
Yeah, it's like everything's unfamiliar, right? For them, and we are there to navigate with them, to help them, so that way they found a home in the end, and they did. They found a home, so and they like it. So that's comfort. Yeah.
Well, let's keep writing then. So, got another, this next one that I have for you. I want to share you this artwork that I found, and just want to use it as inspiration. You don't have to use it. But I saw it earlier this week. The caption on the right says, "Acrylic on canvas, queer in color affirms and recognizes and celebrates identities and contributions of LGBTQ plus individuals in our communities." Why choose Nina? She was a creative at a time without validation and faced rejection for being Black, a woman, and for being bisexual. She also contributes some of the best music of the period. So I'm going to leave that up. And I have a couple of prompts for you on this one. This one is listening to that music I hear, and the flowers swayed light. So let's do another 10 minutes. couple more minutes. All right. So how did that go?
It was good.
Okay. So would anybody like to share?
Mine is short. I can share mine.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay. Do me copy and paste, and then I can read out
You don't
loud.
have to. You can just read it if you like.
Okay. So here goes. The flowers sway like a wave of hair strands. It dances around as you walk by. The flowers grow as you do, the hair flowing with grace and age. Gray hair stands above the young, as the flowers learn to face towards the sun, as we look up over the ground. Age keeps us going, and we keep growing, to learn, to feel, to love. The flowers swayed over us all. That's it.
Thank you. I like the line, gray hair grows above the young. You said?
Yeah, it's kind of dark when you think about it.
Oh, no, I really like it. I think it's really poetic. I love the rhythm of that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was really thinking about introspectively. Yeah, that's all it really is.
Would anyone else like to share? Perhaps their line or two that they really like. I can go next. If my life was a book, I can place my finger at this point, a period, a new sentence to highlight the change that's passing each day after I came out to my family. All emotions tempered under years of practice comes rising to the surface, but it doesn't explode as it would have years ago. Each time it begins to, toward my unsuspecting brother, I stop myself and think, no, let this be a learning moment. My teacherly voice takes over and I begin again to teach, to breathe, to understand our process of learning. If I listen to that music, the one that comes after several long breaths, the slow badoom of my heart as it works through the anxiety, then the tempo slows. The beat ends the paragraph. Thank you. Thank you, Julie. How about we do one more right for tonight? We'll do a shorter one this time, and then we'll take it from there. So We'll do about 3-minute write. And then the last couple of prompts I got for you are in celebration of, or human connection is. We'll do it for just 3 minutes. Thank you, Julie. Hope you have a good night, and thank you so much for writing with us. All right. I'm gonna wrap up your last thought. I actually only have one line for this one. Human connection is the moment looking beyond the screen and seeing the humanity within the words we write tonight. Would you like to share?
Wait, say that again. I was busy. Sorry, go say it again.
Human connection is the moment looking beyond the screen and seeing the humanity within the words we write tonight.
Aww. Heart. I just put in celebration of us as the people who was hurt, as the people who keep going, and I couldn't finish it. I just want to say, as the people who we love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't put a lot.
All good. Ron, did you want to put in a couple words, or it's okay if we don't? It's all good. All right. Well, with that, I am very grateful I was able to write with all of you today. I know it's a little late, so thank you for, sharing this with me. Yeah, and I'm grateful that this is actually the last day of EPALF. So this has been a wonderful ride. All right. And so with that, I'm going to give it back to Roshni.
Yay! Thank you, Lily. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. It's our very last event for Queer PALF. Very fun ride. So thank you, everybody. And I know it's getting late, and I just want to put in the chat, the very last thing of the festival is this marketplace. So it's a marketplace full of local BIPOC artists who have made things during the pandemic and would like to share them with you. So check it out. It's the last day for it, and then tomorrow it's gone. So do that before you go to bed. Thank you again. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Brina, for your amazing techness this whole festival. And thank you for joining us tonight. I will see you in next time. Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.
You too. Bye.